Hello, my name is Jude York, and I will be going through some of the funny moments that happen behind the scenes on my new music video for Those Were the Days. There's been a lot of very interesting moments that happened, and I just thought, what better way to go through them than to put them into a ranking system? So let me tell you how these tiers work, okay? We have cute anecdote, self-explanatory. Broken shoes in the snow refers to a moment when I really was questioning my existence on this shoot, which was just kind of like my feet. I was in very, very bad kind of dress shoes that had holes in them and like bits and pieces falling off of them. And I was in the snow and the snow was seeping in and my toes were like numb from the cold. And it's just kind of funny in hindsight, but at the time it was actually really, really painful. The next one is Ellen DeGeneres wig. This refers to the wig that I wear in the music video as one of the characters. You're going to see quite a lot of this wig. And to me, this just represents like kind of just silly, really silly, dumb, ridiculous. You know what I mean? Straight to jail, self-explanatory, crazy, wild, dumb. Will take it to my grave means I'm still recovering from the trauma and I'm not yet ready to fully discuss, but I will give you what you need to know. And the rest is for my therapist. Thank you for respecting my boundaries. Let's start with the infamous broken shoes in the snow. I think it's worth showing you what that image looked like. It was raining for like 5 days straight when we were there. And so I didn't bring any shoes that were equipped to keep out any water whatsoever. And so I just was kind of on constant soggy feet mode throughout the entire thing. Would do a take and then I would kind of go back into the car if I could, or at least at the end of the scene that would filmed, I would go back into the car, take off my shoes and socks, blast them under the air conditioning for a little bit. And following that, I think it's a good time to discuss the wardrobe situation in general. This is just how getting changed looks on location. I was just getting changed, kind of mostly naked in the middle of the woods, cars driving by, no dignity, no. Yeah, it is what happened. Okay, I think I want to go on to this one. This is probably straight to jail for me. It became a meme for me, at least in my immediate circle afterwards. And I call it, no one tells you how hard it is to frolic.
No one tells you how hard it is to frolic.
So that we really wanted to recreate that iconic scene from The Sound of Music where Julie Andrews is like, kind of like arms outstretched and running through the hills and she's twirling and she's giving it all and she's smiling and smelling the fresh air. But because of the aforementioned rain and like the altitude and like the heavy clothes and the bad shoes, etc., like it was so hard. It was hard. And I know that sounds really wussy and privileged to be like, oh, like my job is really hard because I had to like frolic in the woods for like an hour. I was out of breath. I was not able to get my breath. We'd do like a 15-minute take and then I'd have to like stop and go like it was like impossible. I couldn't. I actually couldn't. It was like I nearly died. I nearly vomited. So my advice to you guys, if you want to do it, is always frolic safely. Take a frolic buddy. Make sure the weather's good shoes, waterproof. Yeah, okay. Next one is this is the me and the donkeys moment, but really it's just my first impressions of the area that we went to. Basically what we were going for is Sound of Music, obviously, but what we got was Twilight. Which I love that. Like it's a different vibe to what we had in mind, but you know, kind of funny. It's a funny anecdote now. I felt like half the time, I felt like I was dressed like Doctor Who, but acting like Edward Cullen. And it's funny to me. It's funny. It's cute. I think this is Ellen DeGeneres wig. This is just kind of embarrassing and cute and funny. This is me and my team at a tavern. And when we were here, they didn't speak any English, which was kind of common and normal and fine. But our director is, in fact, vegan, which is great, but difficult in remote areas in Europe. She found the vegetarian menu, which kind of was mostly just vegetables. And so she had to kind of like check with the waitress, like, oh, just checking, like, these don't have dairy and cheese and eggs and stuff. And it was literally like that moment from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where she was like, oh, no cheese. Oh, okay, great. Lamb stew. Okay. And like ran off to go make the lamb stew. And we're like, no, not lamb stew. No animals, like no, nothing. And then she was like, oh, okay. Meat platter. And it was difficult. Vegans are not a common occurrence in that part of the world, so we can assume. But it was funny, very funny, and they were so sweet and kind. Like she had the best energy. It was just amusing. All right, let's talk about the big guns, because we've tried all these other tiers. There's only one place that this godforsaken remote ass photo can go, and it's here. I'm gonna just explain the vibe on this day. This was maybe the third or fourth day of shooting, and at this point we were well and truly ready to get out of the rain. So ready that we were driving 5 hours, I think, to get to anywhere that wasn't under, heavy rain. And we finally got there, and we did some really great shots, and a lot of it is in the video, which is great. And it was also where we filmed the album art. So we'd done a whole bunch of mountain shooting. We were like kind of getting the views, and we'd done a lot of shooting, but because we were so regional and remote, like we pretty much left our house at like 4:45, and it kind of had got to maybe 2 p.m. and we hadn't eaten. And more importantly, we hadn't used a bathroom. Like there were no bathrooms in this country. I mean, that makes it sound like it's a third world country, and it's not, but like there were no bathrooms. I don't know what to tell you. We tried the service stations, nothing. Like it was, and so we reached a point, we just finished filming our this take, and we were like, all right, do we go backwards and we try and find a bathroom where we just came from? Or do we keep on going to the next filming location where we can see that it's like a little village and there'll be like restaurants that are open and things like that? And we're like, let's just keep on going forward. We don't want to go backwards. We're losing light. I'm sure it's going to be great. And so we kept on going higher up this mountain and going, oh, how high is this thing? Like, this is actually pretty tall. And then we started to see snow everywhere, and it was like suddenly we were up in the middle of this like ski lodge slope thing, and there were like sheets of white and like snow frosted trees, and it was absolutely stunning, but also like deathly quiet, like absolutely like not a soul there. We were knocking on the restaurant's door going like, hello, is there anyone in there? And like nothing. It was a ghost town. It was a ski lodge in October. And Google Maps didn't know that. And so we were like, it got to a point where we were so desperate. We knew that once we went down the mountain, there was no way we were going to make it back up. And so we were like knocking on strangers' doors in this ski lodge, dressed like Doctor Who. And, I am not proud of what we had to do next, but, you can use your imagination. What I will say, though, we got the take in the snow. We struggled for our art and violated so many health and safety laws in the process. So if you're watching this and you happen to be working in my team and you are the director or my manager, please don't sue me. Don't sue me. That'd be so great. Thank you. I think this is a good one. I'm going to put this one in cute anecdote. This is a cute anecdote because I think this is really emblematic of the story we're telling. Our final shot of the entire music video was at a beautiful lake, and we'd just finished up and we were just about to leave, and it was like there was nobody there. It was like deserted and quiet and really early morning. And just as we finished, we yelled, "Cut, that's it, that's a wrap." Like about 3 tour buses worth of tourists came flocking in, which was just amazing. Like the contrast and like how this video, so much of it is about expectation versus reality. And, I think this kind of sums it up. Last but not least, guys, this is my favorite one. Attila. This man, it has a little cameo in the end of the video, and he is simply the sweetest, cutest man in the world. We just had this idea of having an older man kind of giving a judgmental look and saying, those were the days, kind of like to symbolize the cycle repeating and everyone always judging others for being more modern and whatever. He was a friend of Julia, who was helping with the whole shoot. And what we didn't anticipate was how hard it would be to get a non-native English speaker, who actually didn't really speak any English, to say the phrase, those were the days. Meanwhile, pouring rain, absolutely pouring. He was getting drenched. And the poor guy, we just kept on like having to repeat like, those were the days, those were the days. Also doesn't help that we have Australian accents. And so we're kind of there going, those were the days. And he's going like, but it was so great. He did such an amazing job and it's one of my favorite parts of the whole video and I can't wait for you to see that bit. God bless you, Attila. Attila forever. That's it. That is the video. It's going to come out on the 1st of November. Go pre-save the song if you haven't already. It helps me so much when you guys do that sort of stuff. It basically just tells all of the people out there who, you know, whether they're algorithms or people who make decisions about where the song goes, it just lets them know that people really like this song and that they're interested in it, and that'll help the song reach more ears and help me continue to go make art. So thank you for that, and thank you for your support already. This music video, I'm only explaining the funny BTS moments, but the truth is it was an actual dream to make this whole thing. It's by far the most ambitious thing I've ever done in my life, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Thanks, guys. Love you all. Bye.